Hello everyone, it's Armand Levette. Welcome to my channel. Thank you for watching my show. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share, do everything that I tell you to do. Previously on Real Talk.
The search for a missing Flint teenager continues. Tonight, her mother pleading for help as tips begin to trickle in. Good evening, everyone. I'm Bill Harris. Thanks for joining us tonight. 2 weeks and still no word on the whereabouts of 19-year-old Alante Hill. She was last seen at McDonald's on Dorr Highway in Flint. Her mother now organizing a search party. NBC 25's Walter Smith Randolph in the newsroom with our top story tonight. Walter, we now have surveillance video of Alante, huh?
That's right, Bill. It's from the McDonald's on Dorr Highway, as you said. That's near Lapeer Road. That's where a friend of Alante spotted the missing teenager in the drive-thru on November 2nd. Alante's mom is now taking to social media in hopes of more tips coming in. This video from the McDonald's on South Dorton Lapeer is the last anyone has seen of Alante Hill. The 19-year-old spotted in the passenger seat of a Buick sedan.
So far, nothing. We checked her Facebook account. We were able to get her phone call log. No activity since October 31st. And that's not like her.
Letitia Hill losing sleep, worried her daughter trusted the wrong person.
Very trusting, though, because she has gotten in a car with a stranger before.
Alante diagnosed with bipolar disorder when she was 15. But she's been living in her own apartment near 10th and Saginaw, checking in with her mom every day.
We've always kept in constant communication and talking and saw each other. Ever since she moved out, she was still over my house every day.
Letitia passing out flyers and posting pictures of her firstborn all over social media.
Just, again, a fun-loving teenager.
Right.
Who's always on Facebook and on her phone.
Meantime, police hoping anyone who may have seen Alante speaks up.
If they have any information, have seen her, or know anything, just please contact the police.
Alante's mother is planning a search party for Wednesday. She's asking volunteers to meet at Mount Olive Missionary Baptist Church on Kenilworth Avenue from 12 until 5. If you have any information, give Crime Stoppers a call. That number is 1-800-422-JAIL. Live in the newsroom, Walter Smith Randolph, NBC 25 News. Bill?
Thank you, Walter.
Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun, dun-dun-dun, dun-dun. Dun-dun-dun, 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 dun-dun. You've hurt me for the last time. Got a problem, let's take it outside. And you're a liar, but not a good one. And you weren't smart, I was just dumb. And my heart won't stick around for another round. So I won't stop, even when you're on the ground. There's gonna be tears tonight, but I'm not the one who's gonna cry. There's gonna be tears today. So if you value your life, stay on my way. Eyes open for the first time. She can have you, 'cause you were never mine. All the fighting and the screaming wasn't worth it. Hope you got what you needed. 'Cause my heart won't stick around for another round. And I won't stop, even when you're on the ground. There's gonna be tears tonight, but I'm not the one who's gonna cry this time. There's gonna be tears today. So if you value your life, stay on my way. Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun, dun-dun-dun, dun-dun. Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun. There's gonna be tears tonight. Oh, but I'm not the one who's going to cry this time. There's gonna be tears today. And if you value your life, stay out my way. Stay out my way. Okay. Mental status. General appearance. Appears younger than stated age, appropriately dressed. Attitude/engagement. Patient is cooperative and easily engaged. Psychomotor activity. No PMA/PMR. Speech. English, normal rate, normal rhythm, and low volume. Thought process. Patient's thought process shows some magical and delusional thinking without evidence of flight of ideas or loose associations. Thought content. Presents with delusional system related to belief in witchcraft and strong convictions to its validity. No evidence of flight or ideas. Patient displays linear goal directed. And no, I did not believe in witchcraft. She asked me a question because of what I was saying. She was like, "Do you believe in witchcraft?" And I said, "I believe that it's real, and I know how strong it is if you believe in it." And I was telling her some of my story, but I don't want y'all thinking like, "Oh, I'm some type of witch or something," because that is not the case. Okay. Perception. Patient endorses a history of auditory and tactile hallucinations. Does not appear to be responding to internal stimuli at this time. Mood. Sad all the time. Affect. Congruent to stated mood. Affect is depressed, crying, good eye contact. Sensorium. Patient is alert and oriented ×3. Memory. Recall intact. Intelligence. Appears average, although not clinically tested. Fund of knowledge appears average. Cognition insight. No cognitive deficits noted. Insight impaired. Impulse control poor. Judgment impaired. Risk assessment. Suicidal ideation. Patient endorses history of suicidal ideation. Endorses recent history of attempt. Currently endorses intermittent passive ideation and denies intent or plan. Homicidal ideation. Denies. Overall risk of harm. Medium. Medical history. Reportedly healthy. Legal history. Arrested a few months ago for trespassing and case was dismissed. Patient was unsuccessful in effort to escape trafficking and eventually stabbed her pimp, which led to patient being incarcerated for 3 months at Rikers and was released October 3rd. Court date pending. Substance abuse. Onset of marijuana abuse at age 15. Currently denies abuse. Reports history of alcohol abuse at age 17 and 1 episode of blackout, and patient states she has not abused since that time. Smokes about 4 cigarettes daily. Psychosocial history to present. Patient grew up in Detroit and in Flint, Michigan. Patient grew up with mother, father, 5 siblings, and at times extended family. Both parents worked full-time. Patient reports history of being molested at age 9 by a female family member, which patient states remains a traumatic experience. Reports being raped at age 18 and again at 19, both times by older adult males. Arrived in New York City in November, at which time patient states she was picked up by male pimps and forced to sell herself for sex, at times forcefully confined. Reports history of being bullied in school due to her weight. Denies history of physical abuse at home. Patient states she feels she was not loved at home like everyone else. She was the black sheep in the family and feels she was treated like she didn't belong. Patient reports history of verbal abuse by family members because she was different. Patient reports recent trauma experienced while undomiciled by a man at age 42 who confined her and a 16-year-old female with physical abuse and forced sex for money. At age 15, patient was hospitalized for 2 weeks due to running away from home, anger issues, which included verbal altercations, as well as physical altercations with siblings, cutting behaviors. Patient was diagnosed with bipolar disorder and depression at that time. Patient reports multiple hospitalizations up to 8 times following initial hospitalization. Last psychiatric hospitalization was at Harlem Hospital for 3 weeks, February 2014. Patient has a name and is a person. Patient was given prescription of Abilify upon discharge, but patient did not comply because she stated she had no insurance. Really, I just didn't want to tell them that I wasn't taking medication. Summary history of psychotropic medication includes lithium, Prozac, Abilify, Seroquel, Depakote, Risperdal, Latuda, and Trazodone. You see how they try to dope me up? Patient denies history of AV hallucinations. However, patient's belief system includes believing she has a spirit inside of her that guides her, as well as believing there is something evil within her. I believe that it was something evil in me because I got raped, and I believe that rape is an evil thing and sex is a soul tie. So I believe, that's the evil spirit on them and they forced it inside of me. But we'll get back to that. And believes that she is a oracle. Patient states that she has read and been influenced by books about witchcraft. Patient reports history of depressed mood dominated by persistent crying spells, feelings of sadness, and don't diagnose me with something I can't even pronounce. Low frustration tolerance. Patient reports depressed mood intensify and last few months while being trafficked with several undisclosed suicide attempts. Patient states that while recently incarcerated at Rikers, prescribed Abilify, Lexapro, and Benadryl, and was diagnosed with PTSD and bipolar disorder by history. Patient currently endorses severe depressed mood, states that nothing matters, that word, lacks motivation, and continues to endorse auditory hallucinations. Patient currently endorses suicidal ideations, denies intent or plan. Patient states that while she was held hostage by her pimp, he insisted she lose weight and began to binge eat. Patient and throw her food up. And patient reports these symptoms persist. Patient states she currently began individual psychotherapy with CH social worker. Patient reports severe and persistent nightmares that she is unable to wake up until the nightmares are completed, with a belief system that anything and everything in her dreams come true. Reports hypersomnia during the day, fatigue, avoiding to go to sleep to avoid nightmares. Patient reports episodes of panic attacks, feels like she's about to die with cardiac palpitations, flashbacks, and re-experiencing. Patient conclude of tactile hallucinations, feeling like there are worms swimming or crawling inside of her. Okay, some of the sides were cut off and everything, so sorry about that. But I'm reading that as a brief summary to, start off this video with and explain a few of those things, as well as go more in depth about my story and the things that happened to me. And I've given it a lot of thought, and this is gonna be more than a part 3. It's gonna be at least like a part 7. I don't know, but it's so many things that I want to get out and I want to say. So this won't be the last video about it. Without further ado, here is part 3 of my story, the tragic tale of human trafficking. There's gonna be tears. And actually, I sung this song to him because, he was But this song was about me fighting back and not taking it anymore, because that's exactly what I did. And I also helped someone else, the girl that I just read about, the 16-year-old in the story. I hope I helped her to get away too. So I hope that my story can help anyone that is going through this situation. Now, here we go. So in this episode, I will be talking about Rasheen Mack, better known as Ty, and he was the guy that I stabbed to get away. He was my pimp. And I don't like saying like my pimp and everything like that. He was my trafficker. He forced me to have sex with him every single day and people that I didn't want to. He abused me. He put his hands on me. He even, I'm embarrassed to say this, but he even spit on me before, punched me in my nose, just treated me horribly, threw a bike at me, like pulled out knives on me, threatened to kill me every single day. And I couldn't stay. I couldn't live like that. It came down to a matter of it's either me or him. And I couldn't let it be me. I didn't deserve to die like that. You know, I didn't deserve that. Nobody does. And I couldn't let him kill me. So I had to do what I had to do. Now, if you're wondering, like, okay, let me start from the beginning of how I even met him. I was staying in this place called GEMS, Girls Educational Mentoring Services, and it's a program for women who have been victims of human trafficking, rape, molestation, all the stuff like that. And so I had actually got in contact with him because this other guy, he took me like to Maine, and the police actually like helped to save my life and get me away from him, and that's how I got into that program. I'll tell you that story too. Maybe not on this one, on another one. But they had these houses that, you in a program, you could live there and everything like that, and you work towards your independence and everything. And they try like to get you out of human trafficking and everything like that, which was a really super great program. Now, they had a few rules, and their biggest rule was anonymity. You couldn't tell anybody where it was at because you never know who's hiding from who, which is cool, understandable. So I kind of made a mistake and broke that rule, not purposely though. I didn't even know it until, okay, so I had went to go get tested, right? As I, did, even though, oh my goodness, getting the test was like judgment day. I'm like, every time I went to the clinic, I'm like, Father, I come to you now, Jesus, please. Oh, hear my heart. So I was really, really scared that I might have something because, everything that was going on and stuff. So I came back, negative for everything. And I was so happy. Like, I don't understand. I was jumping for joy. And so there's this guy that he lived around, and he always was like trying to talk to me, but I tell him like not for free. This was when I had got away from my other pimp, so I was a free agent. So I'm like, not for free, this and that. And he's like, okay, I got you when I get some money, everything. So I'm like, okay, cool. We smoked together before, everything. So I'm thinking like, at least we cool enough. And if you're wondering like, oh, well, if you didn't have pimps no more, why you was doing it? I was still homeless and I still needed a place to stay. Although I will admit, when I had that place, me still doing it was out of greed. It wasn't necessity. I used to have this feeling like everything gonna go wrong eventually, so I would try to do as much as I can just in case. But when I was living there, I did not have to do it. It was I was just trying to store away nuts for the winter time, and I still couldn't get a job at that time. I'm not trying to make any excuses for it. I know how it may seem. I just don't want people to think that because I had started off, well, not started off, but because I had went on to do some things on my own, I don't want it to take away from the seriousness of the story. I don't want it to be like, oh, well, see, it wasn't that bad if you this and that. No, like, I needed the money. So, he had saw me one day, and I was just so excited about, the good news. And I was like, guess what? And he was like, what? I was like, I just got tested. He was like, okay. And I was like, I'm clean. He was like, good for you. And I was like, you want to see? He was like, it's cool, I believe you. But I was just, and I know it may seem pathetic, but you don't know the things I've done. Oh, Jesus. So I was like, look. So I showed him the paper, like with the test results and everything, and it had the address. Now it didn't have one part was off. It didn't have the same street on it, but no, it didn't have the same number on it. But it had like the address on top of it because that's the address that I gave him, and I totally forgot about that. So he looked at it. He's like, "Oh, that's where you live," and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, what have I done?" Because don't get me wrong, that place, I'm pretty sure people knew about it because, the girls that live there and everything like that, it's people that knew about that place, They, I guess it was unspoken or something, but for him to say it like that, okay, he know where I stay at. So later on that night, he had called me and he was like, if you don't bring me out $50, I'm gonna knock on that door. Now, that means everything messes up for me. I can't have this place to stay. I can't live here anymore. I'm out of the program. I'm homeless. I'm back on the street. All of that. And I'm just like, no. And he's like, yeah, I know you don't want that to happen. And I'm just like, are you serious? He's like, I'm serious. Bring me $50 right now and I'll leave you alone. But if you don't, I'm knocking on the door. And so he knew how serious it was. So I'm just like, I'm crying, I'm panicking, I'm worried because, oh my goodness, life on the streets, especially in New York City, it was so unbearable. I've checked myself into the hospital. That means that I would have to do things to survive again. Okay? I couldn't let that happen. Oh my goodness, I was just like, I was screaming in my pillow. I was crying. I'm like, God, what do I do? What do I do? And so he kept calling me back. He was like, all right, I'm about to knock on the door since you want to play games. I'm like, no. Here I come. So I was going to bring him $50, but then I thought about it like, what if he do this all the time? What if he see that he can make me do this and it never stops? And so I figured that honesty would be like the best policy. So I'm like, let me just like tell them, let me just explain to them what's going on. And so I went downstairs and I explained to the lady, and then she told me to like give her my phone, and she called his number back, and she was like, if you come here, we will call the police on you, this and that. And so he didn't end up coming, and I was like, am I in trouble? She was like, I do have to tell them what happened. And she was like, you probably won't have to leave tonight, but you probably will have to leave, or I'll talk to them. And I was letting her know like it was really a mistake. I didn't try to let this. She's like, I understand, but I still have to tell them because it's a safety issue. And so I'm like, okay. So I'm like crying because I'm just hoping like, please don't put me out, like not back out on the streets, like please, oh my goodness, please. So the next day she tells me, which actually it's my birthday the next day, and I had just turned 20. She tells me, I'm sorry, but you can't stay here anymore. You could always come to the program and to the dropout center, but you can't stay here anymore. I busted out crying. I could not believe it. My life had gone horribly wrong. It felt like my dreams were shattered. And I was just like, I'm like, no, I'm gonna have to go back out on the streets, and I'm probably gonna meet like the worst pimp of my life or anything. And I called it because I just started screaming. She was like, you can pack your things. I'm sorry, but we can't have that here. And I'm just like, it was a mistake. I didn't. She's like, I believe you, but it's the rules. So I just broke down and started crying. I'm talking about I never like cried so hard in my life because it wasn't fair. It wasn't my fault. And it's like this guy can mess up my life because when I tell you this messed up my life, first of all, the horror of having to go back out on the street all by myself. The terror of knowing what I would have to do now. Because if you haven't seen the other two videos, the reason why I couldn't get a job is because I didn't have an ID. I could barely stay at shelters. It was by the grace of God that they let me in because I didn't have an ID. I had lost my wallet. And so I couldn't do any. Now, if it was something under the table, I never like asked like any bodegas if I could sweep up or something like that because I didn't know how they would react. Like, that's illegal. We're not going to do that. So I had to do, well, my situation. It seemed like I had to do those things. So, just knowing what I would have to go back out there and do, it just, oh my goodness. And it made me so mad at him, so angry because I'm like, how can you just play with somebody's life like that and not care at all? Like, for you to even do that, for you to even say that, how serious this place is. You know how serious it is to me. This is all I have right now. And for you to just carelessly play with my life, oh my goodness. I ain't even gonna say what I wanted to do. So I had bought some weed and I had smoked it to like calm me down. And I was talking to this girl. She was like, dang, that's messed up. I'm so sorry because you don't never, I didn't. Like, I never started no problems. I was so happy to be there. But looking at it now, don't get me wrong, I understood the rules. It was just the fact that it was happening to me that it was just so hard because I'm like, they know, like, they know how it is out there. Like, I don't got nowhere else to go. And so that's what made it, like, so sad. So anyways, I had a few dollars to my name and everything like that. And I'm just like, dang, what am I going to do? So I got on the train because I didn't know where I was about to go. I got on the train and I just kept riding it because I was just like in so much despair. I just kept riding the train. I didn't know what I was going to do, where I was going to go. I had a couple of dollars left, so I'm just like, what am I going to do? And then finally, I got off on the last stop, which was in Queens. Now, I had never like been to Queens. I don't think I have. Maybe like passing through, but I had never like actually really been in Queens. And every part of New York City like looks different. Like every borough looks really different. So I'm looking around and I'm like, this looks okay. This looks nice. This is cool. So I'm walking up and down the street and everything. And I had saw this McDonald's. So I had walked back down. I don't know what I was just walking around trying to figure out what I was about to do. So I'm walking. And honestly, a part of me, to tell you the truth, I was figuring out how I was about to get some more money. I know how I was about to get it, but I was just like, I was kind of stalling a little bit. I hope nobody like wanted to like see me at that moment because of the situation I just got out of. But I'm like, life don't stop just because I got problems. So I gotta get back to doing it. So I had walked past this Metro PCS, and this guy was inside, and he looked at me and he started smiling. So I started smiling back, And so he had came out and he was like, "What's your name?" And I was like, "Armand." And he was like, "How old are you?" And I was like, 19. Well, I'm actually 20. I just turned 20. And so He was like, happy birthday. And I was like, thanks. And he was like, we're going to celebrate for your birthday. And I'm just like, all right. Because I didn't have nothing else to do. I didn't think he was like a pimp or anything. And so he was like, do you drink? And I was like, no, not really. And he was like, you smoke weed? And I was like, yeah. He was like, all right, where you about to go? And I was like, well, I'm about to go to McDonald's because, I'm kind of hungry. He was like, no, we can get something to eat. I was like, no, I want some McDonald's. I'm okay. And he was like, all right, give me a number. So I had gave him my number and everything, and he had called my phone. He was like, all right, call me as soon as you leave out of McDonald's. And so I was like, okay. So I had started walking to McDonald's, and he had called me, and I'm just like, maybe he want me to like get him something. He'll give me the money when I get back. So he called me. He was like, are you coming back for real? And I was like, yeah, because I ain't had nothing else to do. So I'm like, yeah. So he was like, all right, make sure you come back. And I'm like, okay. So I just kept walking, and something was like, something is not right about him. Something is off. Like, he seemed like a little bit too possessive, And so I'm just like trying to like ignore it. But you know how when you can't ignore stuff and it bug and bother you? So I'm just like, I don't know if I'm gonna go back. So I'm walking again because it was a couple blocks down. So I keep walking. He called me again. He was like, I was just gonna say, we could just get some food. You don't gotta get McDonald's. You could just come back. We can get some food. And I'm like, I actually I got a taste for McDonald's. I want McDonald's. And he was like, all right, just call me when you get out McDonald's. And I'm like, okay, because at first I was planning to do that, but then I'm just like, something don't seem right about this. So I kept walking. It was like 2 more blocks away. He called me again, but I ignored it. He called me again, but I ignored it. I was like, oh no, I ain't going nowhere with this dude because you calling me too much. Like, I know I'm cute, but come on now. Don't do that. We just met, no. So I went into McDonald's and he called me again. He was like, why you not picking up? And I was like, listen. He was like, look, all right, you in line yet? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, all right, so get your food and hurry up. And I'm just like, hurry up. He was rushing me. So he's like, I'm sorry, my bad. I was like, because I was like, you keep calling me like that. He was like, my bad. I'm just trying to make sure that you're really coming back. And I was like, yeah, I'm really coming back. He was like, because, I just got the weed and I'm about to get the bottle. So I was kind of like, okay, I could kind of understand that if you already bought the stuff and you want to make sure I'm really coming back. But at the same time, I'm thinking like, don't go back. Don't go to that dude because it's something off about him. So I'm in there and the line was super long. I'm talking about super, super long. And then somebody had spilled one of they I don't want to say slushy. I think it was like a milkshake. Somebody had spilled their milkshake because it was like strawberry. They had spilled it all over the floor, so they had to clean that up. It was hot outside, and it was a super long line. So he calling me. He was like, "You got your food yet?" And I was like, "No, like the line is really, really long." He's like, "All right." So, and I kid you not, I know I sound like I'm exaggerating. I would think just hearing the story that somebody is exaggerating, so I'm not exaggerating. He called me like 10 times, okay? And so I finally get my food. And so he called me as soon as I got my food. I'm like, come on now. And he was like, oh, you got your food yet? And I was like, yeah. He was like, all right, so you make your way back down? And I was like, I'm about to eat. He's like, no, don't eat there. Come on now, we're going to eat at the room. And I was like, no, my plan was to sit here and eat. Like, I'm going to sit here and eat my food. He was like, all right, call me when you get done. So when I hung up the phone, I was like, I'm not calling him back. I am not calling him back at all. So I ate my food. I sat there for a minute, reminisced, just was thinking about what I was going to do because, I mean, I'm not from New York, so I'm thinking like, he don't know where I'm at. Like he from there. I'm thinking like, he don't know where I'm at. He good. So I'm sitting up there thinking, planning. He calling me again. I ain't answer. He called me again. I ain't answer. And so I was getting up and leaving out. And something told me to answer the phone this time. He called me again. And I was like, hello. He was like, hey, okay, I see you. I see you. And I'm like, this dude came down here. Oh my goodness. And so within one of the times that he called me, he let me talk to the girl. He was like, I want you to meet my sister, talk to my sister, which that was not his sister. That was the 16-year-old girl in the story. And right off bat, you could tell that something was off about her. It's like, I don't know if you ever saw somebody that's a victim of abuse, okay? We're timid a lot, we stay quiet, it's kind of like, because my friend told me this because, he was talking to me about certain stuff and he was like, you look like you've been trained. And that's like the look of a lot of victims of abuse. Like, they look like they've been trained to like just be quiet, stand here, just, look down. And not even just that, her mind, she sounded like he slipped her something or somebody slipped her something, because in the first few seconds of her conversation, you were like, huh? But I speak crazy. Not to call her crazy, not to say that, because I don't really think anybody's crazy. I think people are just misunderstood. And some people are trapped in their own minds. Because I know when my weed was laced, I was trapped in my own mind. People was thinking I was crazy. That was one of the scariest things ever. And I thank God that it didn't last forever. But I was trapped in my head and I was seeing stuff. I'm talking about, because they had laced me with angel dust. Man, the trees was turning into like little spooky, scary, like something you would see in a scary cartoon. The trees turned into that. I'm seeing cartoons on the window. Like, it was scary. So, and they was looking at me like I was crazy, but I know what I was seeing in my head. And that's one of my biggest fears too, is somebody doing something to my mind, because I can't stop that, So that's how she talked. She talked like she was laced with something, like somebody slipped her something. And it was sad because she was so young too. So they was both standing outside of McDonald's and everything. He was like, all right, come on, we about to go to the room. So I was looking at her, I was like, hey. And he was like, this is my sister. And so I'm like, sister? Like, that is not his sister. That don't look like his sister. So we had got into the car and we went to this hotel room. So while we was down there, he didn't tell me he was a pimp until we got upstairs, because while we was down there, it was this bar in the hotel, and he was like, hey, you should see, if you can get you some money, like, go talk to that dude right there. So I was like, all right. So I went into the bar and I started talking to him and everything, and I had like agreed on some money. I'm ashamed to say the price. Oh my goodness, I feel so sad. But I had went up to his room and he had paid me. So he had paid me. We did it, everything like that. So I had went back up to the room that like we all had and everything, and I was like about to take a shower and stuff. Now on GP, I was just going like, okay, and then like leave the room. So I went and took a shower and I came back and my stuff was gone. Like, my money was going out my bag and everything. And I was like, where my money at? He was like, oh, I got it. And I was like, can you give it here? And then he was like, this mine. And I'm like, oh, ready to throw some blows, because I'm like, well, I ain't say it out loud or nothing. I'm like, what you mean it's yours? And I was like, no, it's not. He was like, don't worry, you gonna make some more. And so I'm just like, you know what? I want to like just eat it and say, forget about it. I was really upset because I'm like, that's my money. But I'm like, just so I won't get into that type of situation no more. Oh, I ain't want to let that rock. I promise I ain't want to let that rock. I'm just like, no. I can't let this rock. Like, this my money. And I gave this dude a discount? Heck no. And so, like, my pride was just bubbling up inside me. I'm like, you know what? It's cool. So I'm getting ready to like walk out because, like, you just played me. You just took my, you know what? But it's cool because you're a guy bigger than me. You stronger than me. You can beat me up. Like, if you took it, you ain't got no intention on giving it back to me. Let me just chalk it up to an L. I'll go make some more, whatever. So I'm like, you know what? It's cool. And so I get starting to ready to walk out. And he grabbed my arm. He was like, where you going? And I was like, I'm leaving. He was like, no, you're not. Get on the bed. And I'm looking because the girl, she like on the bed and she was like, she moved off the bed so I can get on the bed. And I was like, I'm not staying here. Like, I'm about to leave. He's like, you're not going nowhere. So now I'm just like, what do I do? Do I scream? Do I like run? Do I try to dip, this and that? So I'm sitting down because I just want to like calm the situation because I didn't want to escalate it and something end up happening to me. I'm used to, it's sad, but I'm used to guys like abusing me and stuff. So I'm de-escalating the situation now. So I sit down on the bed and he starts explaining to me, listen, you good. We're gonna make some more money. And I'm just like, no, I just got away from a pimp who was going to kill me in Maine. When I told y'all that the police saved my life, I'm telling you, they saved my life. Okay, by the grace of God, they saved my life. And so I'm just like, no, I'm not getting in this situation again. I'm not getting another pimp. And so I'm just like, you know what? I'm gonna just make sure everything got cool. And if you're wondering why you didn't just scream, understand this. What I would think in my head, even if I scream, people still gotta hear me. And people still gotta get to me. I got a few seconds to scream, and I'm gonna have to scream super, super loud. Because what if he choked me? What if people got the bystander effect? Like, somebody heard me, so they figured somebody else heard me, somebody else called the police or anything like that. I would just try to, like, just make everything go smoothly. I would rather leave undetected if it wasn't an immediate threat or danger to my life. Like, at that time, he didn't put a knife up to me. So I'm like, okay, I could like rock it out up until I'm ready to go and just leave that way. So he's like, listen, we're gonna make some more money. You good? I got you. And I'm just like crying because I don't even want to be here. No, you didn't even know. And so I'm just sitting there like, this is not fair. So I wasn't expecting a girl to help me. She young, she's 16, she not even in her right mind. And I'm thinking of a way both of us can get out. And I honestly think that that's why I was so trapped with him for so long, so I could help both of us get away, because this girl was with him before I even got there. So I'm just sitting down and everything like that. He was like, drink. I was like, nah, I don't drink. He's like, have a drink. So, because I'm like, I'm trying to be sober. I ain't trying to get drunk because I'm trying to leave. So I was even going to try to take my money back. So I'm sitting there and everything, sipping really, really slow, all of that. And he's like, man, drink. Why you babysitting? Drink. So I'm drinking a little bit. And I'm like, I'm good. Like, I don't want no more. I need some juice. So he sent the other girl to go get some juice. And I'm like, oh my goodness, he really trying to make sure I don't leave, because I was eyeing that door like, do I got time? So I'm like on the bed and everything like that. He's like, come here. So I'm like, no. And then so I had came over there, and because he was sitting in the chair, and then he had put my hand on his thing, and I'm just like, oh my goodness. He was like, touch it. I'm like, So I touched it. He was like, come on now, you know what you're doing, touch it. And I was like, oh my gosh. And sorry for the graphic details. So I'm doing that and everything. And then he started pulling his pants down. And then the girl came back in the room. He was like, go take a walk. So she had left out and everything. And oh my goodness, I'm like, girl, why you don't just run away like this? But I get it, like, now that I've been in this situation. So he was telling me to, like, give him some everything. I'm like, I don't really feel like doing that. He's like, what? I was like, I don't really want to do that. And then so he didn't pick me up. He pushed me on the bed, and then he started, but I didn't like super fight back because I didn't want to go through all of that. So I just let it happen. And so after that happened, I was laying on the edge of the bed. He called the girl to come back. They was doing whatever they was doing, and it was time to go to sleep. So I'm laying there, eyes wide open, getting ready to leave. I'm creeping out the bed. Man, I kid you not. As soon as I got up, he grabbed my arm. He's like, don't even think about that shit. It's like, oh my gosh. All right, so you got to strategize. You got to be smarter about it. So days and days went past. The abuse continued. Him, telling me to do this, to do that. Him abusing the girl. And I tried to stand up for her. And she would be mad at me. She's like, you making things worse for me. Because when I stood up for her, like, he took things more out on her too. So I'm just like, okay, how do I do this? How do I be smart about this? So there was one time I had an opportunity to get away because he had like left us alone for a second. Now I'm looking at her like, this is our time, like we can leave, but she wouldn't leave. So I'm walking away and I'm just like feeling this barrier. I'm feeling this barrier, like I can't move forward. And I'm just like, God, like I'm trying to walk away. What you mean? And I just heard go back. I'm like, go back? What this ain't God, this the devil. He's like, go back. And I'm like, no, God, I'm not going back. And so I'm walking and I'm crying because I'm telling you, when God convict me, he convict me so tough. I'm like, really like, God, please, I can't go back. I can't go back to this dude. Because by this time, he done already punched me, slapped me, kicked me, everything. And I'm like, I cannot go back to this dude. So I'm just like, God, I know you wouldn't tell me to go back. And he was telling me to go back for her. Like, she need my help. I'm like, man, that ain't my responsibility. Like, she was here before me. No. And then I just started imagining her pain because I knew what I was feeling. And I'm like, man, I would want somebody to come back for me. And I just felt like I could feel her heart crying out for me to come back and to help to save her. Because remember, she wasn't in her right mind either. So I'm just like, oh my goodness. So it looked like I was playing tug of war with some invisible people. So I started crying. I was like, ah! And then so I went back because I'm like, I can't leave her there. Like, because what if she end up killing herself? What if he end up killing her? I can't leave her there. So I went back and she was happy to see me come back. She was like, you came back. So I'm just like, yeah, I came back. And she gave me a hug and it made me feel better. And the reason why I didn't outright tell her I came back to help you to get away, because I didn't know if she would have said that out loud, because like her mind process was really off. And so I didn't want her to be like, no, you try to make it worse for me again, this and that. Because the last time I tried to stand up for her, she like got mad at me, but I got what she was saying, like, oh, you making it worse for me, this and that. So I didn't want to tell her because I didn't know how like she was going to react to it. So in my head, I'm just like, yeah, I came back for you. So one of these days, and I'm sorry if I'm being all over the place, I didn't expect for this video to be this long before I actually got into like everything of what he did to me. This is like the beginning and everything. And don't get me wrong, because I'm working on a movie. Well, I'm thinking about like, let me stop, like, I don't got the funding for a movie right now, but I will go more into depth, and I'm probably gonna make this a part 2 to this particular video, because it's a lot more, it's a way lot of more. And I be trying to like give background on everything that happened and try to give details, but I also try to like put it in a timely manner. Maybe I should stop worrying about that, because y'all my subscribers, y'all watch my videos. So if y'all still watch me and still like them, subscribe to them, maybe y'all don't care about how long it is. So but it is a 2-hour max. But I'm not gonna make this video 2 hours. I'm gonna break it up and put it in the second part. So this day, I guess she had enough, because he was just being really, really abusive. And sometimes I'll be like, stop, and I'll let him like hit me, and I'll stand in front of her, and so she wouldn't get like really hit really hard or anything like that, because I couldn't take it. So this time we was out in public, and she started running and screaming. She was like, help me, he's hitting me. And my nightmare came true to her. Exactly what I was talking about in the next video, because she's running up to people, screaming, asking them to help. Nobody's helping her. Nobody's doing anything. They're walking past her and thinking, and I get it, it's New York City, you see crazy stuff every day. They're not even helping her or anything. So I'm just like, no. Like, exactly what I thought. People just gonna see you, and they don't see him doing anything, because he wasn't doing anything right there at that moment. So they're looking at this girl screaming. I know it could seem like, oh, she being crazy, this and that, but she's screaming with the urgency of help me, and nobody was helping her. So I'm like, I gotta help her. I gotta help her to get away. So because he was like a drug dealer, we wouldn't drive to different boroughs and stuff like that, because he didn't want to get caught with that stuff in the car. So sometimes we would take the train. So this day we was on the train, and she was looking like she was just about to get off, because we had to go to Brooklyn and stuff, and she was just looking like she was about to just jump off the train. And I gave her the look. I'm like, go, because he wasn't paying too much attention. And after she did that, he poured water all over her hair and everything. He was just being real disrespectful. He spit in her face, everything. And I'm like, nah, I gotta help her. She gotta get away. And at that time, I didn't even care about myself not getting away no more, because he hadn't done that to me yet. So I'm just like, no, I can't. Like this, nobody should go through this. So she was just looking, because he was going to do way more. Once we got back to the house, he was going to do way, way more. So I gave her the look like, go. And I put my leg in front of his so she could get off the train, and he wouldn't be able to like stop her without tripping over my leg or something. And I had stood in a way to make like a little barrier. And when I did that, I was like, I gave her a nod, and she jumped off the train. And the doors had closed and everything, because she didn't jump off right away where he had time to go after her. It was like right when, when people get in and stuff and the door's about to close, she made it look like she was like just moving. And then she got off the train and the doors closed. And he's like, I was like, yes. But then in my heart, I was like, no, because he about to be way, way, way worse to me. So we had took the train back. And then so we had got in the car. He's like, man, we about to find this beat. And I'm just like, God, I pray she don't stay in the same spot. I pray that she finds somewhere to go. I pray we don't find her. So I'm just like, maybe we should go this way, or go that way, or this way or that way, trying to like take him off course and like switch him up and everything. So after that, he's like, I can't believe that beat got away from me like that. And I'm like, yeah, I can't believe it either, He's like, man. And she had like his bag, because he was like, hold this. she's like, man, that B got my stuff, this and that. And I'm just like, yeah, that's messed up. Yeah, she's got away like that. But in my heart, I was like, thank you, God. Like, you go, girl. That's what's up. So now I just had to focus on me. I had to work extra hard. I had to do extra more stuff because now it was just me and him. So he started being like really like the devil because, oh my goodness. It was this one time. And keep in mind, he don't care about me. He don't care about nothing. Every time I made a complaint or voiced a complaint, this dude would hit me in my face. So I would like shut up just so he could like stop hitting me. And I was scared. Like, I was really scared. And I know I shouldn't be ashamed of being afraid, but that's how like he was controlling me. That's how they control you, is by fear. And then they try to switch it up a little bit to make it seem like, oh, they'll be nice or they'll stop. Now, I never believed him. I just needed a safe way to go. So when we would like, he would get the room so I could like do stuff in, I would look at the camera and mouth like, help me. And I like try to make little signs because I'm thinking like, it gotta be somebody behind this camera, because if somebody was to steal something, then they would know. And so I would look at the camera every time we got in the elevator, every time we got in the hallway. I would look at it and I'd be like, help me, in the camera, like, I need help. So, but they didn't come. So I don't know if somebody was really behind the camera, if they really saw me. But I would just try to make sure that it really saw my face. So anyways, every day was just like hell, and he threatened to kill me because I just try to leave and just try to run. This dude would chase me down, throw rocks at me. I busted in somebody garage door trying to get away from him. Not garage door, but it was like they driveway, and they had a fence and everything like that. I would be running, and once I get big, I could pay for it because I know where I was at. So to whoever's fence I broke trying to get away, I truly do apologize. I was in fear of my life. I was running for my life and everything. And I wasn't thinking about the damage, that it was causing. I didn't even feel the pain. I would run, I was breaking through them fences like I was the Hulk or something. I started running, and then I had tripped one time and he threw some rocks at me. And I was like, all right, okay, I'm gonna stop. And he was like, get up. So after he would do that, he'd be like, come on, let's go get something to eat. And I'd be like, you bipolar devil. Like, no, I was hungry, but he'd tell me that I was fat, I was a fat bee, this and that. Which I'm like, if I'm a fat bee, then why you even try to like pin me? Like, just let me go. And so I kind of still, when people have different moments in my life that are either traumatic or stand out, I still hear their voices in my head, even if I am not around them or anything. So to this day, I still hear his voice in my head telling me I'm fat, telling me I need to throw my food up. So I started like trying to make him happy, like throw my food up and everything just so he could leave me alone. Food was comforting to me. Like, it was like the only good thing that I had. He would take my phone so I wouldn't be able to call the police, because I called the police one time and he turned the phone off and we had left the location. And I'm just like, so to their defense, because I used to say they didn't come, to their defense, they probably didn't come in time, but I called the police before. I called the police. I remember like he didn't care about jail. He didn't care about hitting me in public. And I think a lot of it was because he knew that nobody else would. Like, nobody was gonna jump out and risk, anything to try to help me. And I end up having to help myself. One time, because he used to sell crack. And so what he would do is, he would like sell it by the bus stop to make it look like we were about to get on the bus and everything. And I remember one time a police was riding by, and I looked at them and I mouthed, help me. And they kept driving. Now, I can't speak for their mindset. I don't know. Maybe they have something more important to do. But I would try like the safest way. And he would not care about jail. Like, I'd be like, I'm calling the police. Like, I don't care. I don't give a F. And I mean, it seemed like he did because he would like wrestle me for the phone and everything like that. But hitting me in public one time, we were sitting at the bus stop because he was like selling his stuff, and this car had pulled up, and it was like 4 guys in the car, and they were like the guy in the back seat was trying to talk to me, and he was like, how you doing, beautiful, how you doing? Because he didn't see that I was with him because he was standing up and I was just like sitting down right there, and I was sitting like way off. And he said, how you doing, beautiful? And I ain't say nothing because he's standing right there. So he had got out the car and came and like sat next to me, and I was like just sitting there like, please don't say nothing to me. And he was like, how you doing, what's your name? And I was just sitting there, and I started shaking my head a little bit slow, like, no. And he was like, you shy? And I'm just like, no. Like shaking my head and everything, looking down. And he was like, look. And he had grabbed my hand a little bit, like not like in a forceful way, but like in a soft way. He was like, you like to party? Like, me and my boys, we having a party. You can come with us. You smoke, you drink. And I'm just like, in my mind, I want to just be like, yes, and go with them. I know you're not supposed to go with more than 2 guys or whatever. And I even know what he was on. But anything to get away from him, I did not care. But he was standing right there. Now, at that time, I had never seen him like be in a confrontation with another guy. And this is the day that I stopped being afraid of him. I realized, like, don't get me wrong, I know that guys who hit girls are cowards, but this is the day where I did not care about him hitting me no more. Like, not that I just didn't care, but I'm like, I'm going to start fighting back. Because the guy was trying to talk to me and trying to get me to get in the car with him. He was like, all right, look, sweetheart, I'm going to be in this Western Union right here. If you change your mind and you want to, because I was whispering like little stuff. I wasn't just saying, no. I was like, I'm okay. I'm good and everything. And so he was like, I'm going to be in Western Union. If you change your mind, just come in there, let me know, you can roll with us. So I'm like, okay. So he had got up. And I'm just saying that to like get the dude off me, because Ty is standing right there watching everything go down, and you could just see it on his face. Like, how you gonna be mad at me? I guess because he felt like the dude wasn't talking about no money and everything like that. Like, how you? Oh, I was so upset. So the dude gets up, and something just told duck. I duck, and this dude, he was about to punch me in my face, and he had hit the bus thing. He had hurt his hand, so I had like ran into the Western Union, because I'm like, it was actually 3 of them actually. I'm like, it's 3 of them, it's 1 of me, and it's 1 of him. Out of all 3 of them, 1 of them gotta like stand up for me. I just know they're not going to watch him do something to me. So I ran in the Western Union, and I like ran by the guys, because I'm thinking like, this my moment, they about to save me, they about to help me get away. Oh my goodness. So he in there, he was like, come out here, I'm gonna beat your way, get out here. And I was like, no, beat them up. How you mad at me? He was trying to talk to me. So the dude is like looking and watching everything go on. He was like, point him out there. And this is the moment I stopped being afraid, because I'm like, what you mean point him out? They all in here, like, what? We the only ones in here. What you mean point them out? Like, you a coward. And so he was like, I'm gonna punch you dead in your soon as you walk out, I'm beating your way. And so he had pulled out this box cutter that he always put up to my face. Like, I'd be laying there, and he had his hand on my throat, and then he'd put it up to the side of my face. He was like, I'm gonna cut your pretty little face open if you try to get away from me again. Like, just saying it soft like that. And he be telling me, I'm gonna cut you open. You keep trying to run away from me, I'm gonna kill you. And I'm just like, some girls think that's cute, but that ain't cute, okay? That is not attractive to me, like, no. So I'm like, I can't try no more. I'm gonna have to actually get away, because you putting this knife on my face. Now he didn't cut it, but he putting it on my face. No, I ain't staying like this. So I'm just like, and by this time I had a knife in my bag because we had got into a fight before, because he threw this jar of like cheese at me. You know how the nacho cheese come in a glass thing with the salsa and stuff? We was in a bodega and I was like really trying to get away from him, and there was a lot of people on the street, so I'm weaving in and out of the people. Man, this dude is not letting me go, and he started throwing stuff at me because that would slow me down, because I would get really scared if something like hit me in my face or like cut me and everything. So every time that I would try to get away, he would like, and this dude had perfect aim. So I would try to like, move in and out, but I would try to move in and out the way to where nobody else would get hurt, because I would really feel bad if he's trying to hit me with something and he end up hitting somebody else, and there's men, women, children on the street. I don't want them getting hurt. So I'm like trying to move out the way. This dude threw this jar of cheese at me and it busted on my dress and everything. And I started crying because, for one, it hurt. For two, it's embarrassing. You doing this to me in front of people. And we was in a bodega and he pushed me on top of the ice cream thing. And nobody was helping me. Like, I really had to fight this dude off of me because it was this bike in there. I think it was somebody's bike. It wasn't a huge bike, but still, it's a bike. He threw the bike at me. And I fell back. And I'm like screaming, and people like, yo, 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 yo. Now, okay, to their defense, they did like say, yo, stop, chill. But, and I hate to be that person, but if I was a white girl, they would have knocked him out. They would have stopped him. They would have sat on him until, and I think people don't care because he's not a menace to their society. He's only a menace to me. The way he's even allowed to even be back out on the streets, like, he has a long record. He's been in jail for selling drugs, domestic violence, pimping girls, unlawful kidnapping or something like that, where you hold people against their will. He's been in jail for all of this stuff, and he's still out here on the streets. Here it is. I don't have a record at all. Well, I had a trespassing record because I needed somewhere to go and I didn't have nowhere to go, so I slept in this building and everything. And they dismissed that because they understood. But I get arrested for stabbing this dude. Now, this isn't the day that I stabbed him, so he throwing stuff at me and everything. And they're like, yo, stop. But they didn't stop him though. Like, they didn't hold him down until the police got there. And one of the guys, all he said was, you okay? Now, I'm sorry for wanting more, but I think I should have got more than just a you okay. I think somebody should have hit him because he was doing that to me. So another pimp, which was his friend, he's like, yo, chill, you messing up the merchandise, stop. So he was like, come on, I got you. So he had like grabbed my hand and took me to this house to where Ty can calm down, because he was screaming up and down the street that he was about to kill me. And so the dude was like, yo, chill, calm down, I got it. Because these pimps, they was freaking in congregation, fellowshipping with each other. Like, so he was like, I'm about to take her and go clean her up real quick. So he was like trying to get him to calm down, and he took me to go clean me up. He was like, listen, baby girl, like, I would never do that to you. You need to switch up. He gonna end up killing you for real. And I'm just like, you don't think I know this? Like, I'm trying to get away, but he not gonna help me to get away because he's still a pimp too. And the only way he probably would have helped me is like if I switched up and went with him. But that's just trading one bad situation for another. And I'm just like, I want to be free. Like, dang, can I live? So he's like cleaning me up and stuff, and like telling me to wash my dress off. Now, this was one of the traps where they stuff and like package and stuff up. So he's like, Ty knew where that was, so it wasn't like he was taking me to a secret place to hide me out. And so he wasn't about to be like, oh, your girl got away, this and that, and deal with that. So what I did was try to like seduce him into letting me go, because it was just me and him alone. And I was trying to get him to you know help me a little bit, or get him indisposed to where he was too weak to chase after me. So I had did something with him and everything, but that didn't I gave it up for nothing. That didn't get him to let me go. He was like, all right, come on. I was like, no. And so at least in my head, a little victory I can get was that I did something for free. Like, I know that's pathetic. And even during that time, to like try to fight back, I know this is really gross, but I stopped taking showers, and I stopped washing up. I stopped like washing my hair. I stopped bathing myself in totally and completely, because I did not want to have sex. Not with Ty, not with those clients, not with anybody. This man did not care about that. He was forcing me under the threat of murdering me, beating me up, and I hate to say this because I know that I sound so weak, but this is a grown man. He was 42 years old. I had just turned 20 years old the day that I met him, okay? He he's a man. I'm not as strong as him. And so like, that's if I could equally fight him, I would have. But that's why I resorted to stabbing him, because I could not fight him fairly. I couldn't win like that, and I could not let myself get killed. I couldn't. So my ways of fighting back, they was small victories for me, but it was something. I had ended up getting bacterial vaginosis because I wasn't like changing my clothes. I wasn't changing my underwear. I just wanted it to smell so bad. I ain't even gonna lie. I know it's gross, but I wanted them to not do it to me, because I figured like, okay, he keeping me trapped up because I'm making him money. So if I stop making him money, maybe he'll just let me go, because if it's all about the money. So, I started doing stuff to like make myself seem gross so they wouldn't want to do it to me no more. So I stopped washing my vagina. I stopped taking showers and everything, and I had ended up catching BV. And I knew it. I knew that I had it, but I didn't go get it taken care of, and I didn't wash it. And I was like really letting because it hurt in my stomach, because I started getting like cramps and stuff, because it's an infection. You're not supposed to have that in your body. And it was hurting while they was having sex with me. But it was like a risk I was willing to take to get them to leave me alone. And, I was letting myself be musty, all of that, until they started complaining about it, like, yo, she stink, like she smelled really bad. And then he'd get mad, like, get in the shower. And then so he'll watch me take a shower. So I couldn't like keep not taking the shower, because at first I'll get in the shower. Well, I didn't get in the shower. I'll go in the bathroom, I'll run the water, and I just sprinkle the water on my face to make it seem like I got in the shower, and like spray some perfume on me, and like put some lotion on me and stuff to make it seem like, I had cleaned myself up. But I wouldn't do it. And sometimes when they would get mad, like, oh my goodness, like, you smell bad, I'd be like, and so they finally started telling him, yo, I want my money back. She stink. No, heck no. And so he'd like get mad at me, and he beat me up for not taking a shower. So he would watch me while I would take a shower, and sometimes get in there to make sure I took a shower. And so I couldn't keep doing it that way. So anyways, he had brought me back to Ty, and I guess he had calmed down, and we had went to the laundromat, because it was a few places where he sold his drugs at. He sold his drugs at this restaurant, at this bus stop in front of Western Union, at the laundromat, and then, like walking up and down the street in some of the buildings and everything like that. And so he had took me to this laundromat and everything, and he was like, you feel better now? You done tripping? And I'm just like, yeah, I'm done. Because I had grabbed a knife from that house. That's how I had got that knife, because I had went in the kitchen. I was just looking around, and I saw this big butcher knife, which is the knife that I ended up stabbing him with. And I was like, you know what, this might come in handy because I need to protect myself. I didn't have no weapons, nothing. So I put it in my bag. And, I was just waiting for the right moment because I'm like, you know what? Because he done told everybody, like, he was running up and down the street. He been telling everybody, I'm going to kill this bee. I'm going to kill her. Been telling me he going to kill me. Been pulling out knives on me. Been beating me up. And I was like, you know what? You're not going to kill me. Okay? And if I ain't going out without a fight, I'm tired of this. I'm done. So I calmed down. I was like, yeah, I'm cool. So anyways, this is how I had the knife when we was in Western Union, and I was getting ready to pull it out, but something was like, don't pull it out unless you're going to use it, because you don't want to tip your hand. You don't want him to know that you got a weapon, you can defend yourself. So anyways, the guys that was in Western Union, they wasn't like helping me or nothing. They was just standing there like just looking. And he was like, barking, this and that. Not like literally barking. That's like, if you don't know, like slang and stuff. So he just yelling, screaming at me, everything like that. And I'm surprised they're not calling the police. And so I had called the police. And I was like, I'm at Western Union. This guy is threatening me. He has a knife. He's yelling at me. He's saying he's going to kill me, this and that. So because I had the phone at that time. So I'm like, yes, I called the police. And to their defense, because I thought he had left, so I was looking out, which I should have waited inside of the Western Union until they got there. But I was looking out, and I had came out, and he had grabbed my hand. He was like, come on. So we went in a Chinese store, and he was like, and I'm just like looking and like waiting for them to come, because I'm like, I know they coming in that Western Union. So you know what? Okay, we in a calm situation. All right, okay, let's sit here. So he was like, let me see your phone. And I was like, oh. He said, let me see your phone. So I had gave it to him, and he was looking through the call log, and he was like, you B. And then he turned the phone off and took the battery out. So, man, hopelessness. I'm just like, you know what? I'll see what I'm going to have to do. So to their defense, I don't know if they came or not. They probably did. They probably didn't. I don't know. Because he turned the phone off and he took the battery out. So, and I'm going to break this up. The next part, this is part A. The next video is going to be part B, because this not even like halfway through the story. And I don't want this video to get to 2 hours long, because that's when it cut off. And I have been experiencing some technical difficulties while filming this video. The program has kept on shutting down, which is like really a piece of crap. But in the next story, I will continue on into how I got away from him, how I stabbed him, how I went to jail, and my experience inside of Rikers Island. I thank you for watching this far. I know I'll be leaving y'all in suspense. My bad. So I really, really appreciate y'all giving me y'all support, watching my videos, listening to me. I know that this story, it may seem like I was like all over the place. It's so many things that was happening. And in this story, these little details, and I'm not saying little like it don't mean anything, it is so much things that happen every single day. This video, it would be too long if I told you everything. I'm going to write a book. My mom telling me, like, I'm in the process of writing a book about it and everything too. But I'm more so trying to stick to a timeline, and I don't mean timeline for like how long this video. I mean the order of events, because the other stories, they happen within, but I want to stick to the timeline of me, helping a girl to get away, a little bit of my struggle, and me stabbing him, getting away, and going to jail. But I have been inserting like other little background stories to tell you and to let you see how I got to a certain point. I know it may seem like I'm getting off topic, and don't worry, you will be hearing more of these stories, but for this particular project and this particular topic of human trafficking, I wanted to like go straight. So certain stories I haven't told yet because of the timeline and the time frame, but I will be including those in later dates when I talk more about it, because this isn't something where I can just contain it into a box, where I can just make it a okay this and then I'm done and move on. This was my life. So this won't be, I don't want you guys to, or you guys and girls to worry like, oh, we didn't hear every single thing. You know, this won't be the end of it. I'm just giving you this story. So I really thank you all for sticking along and for listening to me. I've been reading the comments. They have been so encouraging. I really appreciate it. And y'all never even, see, I be worried about so much stuff. Y'all never even comment like, oh, these videos are too long. I be thinking that y'all gonna think that because you see, somebody could see our be like, oh, I ain't watching that. But I thank you all for sticking along for this journey, for this ride. This topic is the hardest topic I've had to deal with to date. This is the hardest video I have had to make. Okay? But it's not just for me. I didn't go through this just for me. Somebody else is going through this. Somebody else needs to see that you can make it, that you can break through, you can break free. And I can't wait until I can do more than just talk. I can do more than just sing. I know that this is doing something now, but my heart is to help people. Like, I hate that people go through this, and I went through it, so I know what it's like. I know the feeling of hopelessness, living in a constant state of panic, fear, and trauma. Nobody should have to ever go through that. And I am going to fight until this ends. And if I die before I see that happen, I pray that somebody else carries on the torch and keeps fighting too until this is over, because this is horrible. This is slavery, sexual slavery, being held against your will, being forced to have sex with people, being in fear, constant fear, traumatized, being abused. Nobody should have to go through that. And I thank God that I made it out alive. And it's so sad that some people don't. Some people get so strung out on drugs. Some people end up killing themselves. Some people end up getting killed. And it's by the grace and the mercies of God that I have made it out alive with my sanity. Well, what's left of it. That I can be able to tell my story, that I can help somebody, because I've been through it. So especially like in my videos when I was talking about like why I stopped smoking weed, I don't want you to think that I'm judging you because you smoke, because there was a time in my life I couldn't wake up and I couldn't go through a whole day without smoking. I ran to drugs because I could not deal with everything that was going on in my life. I don't judge y'all. I understand how you can get to certain places and feel like, you can't do this or you can't do that. I'm coming from a place of I've been there, and you can get out of that. And so thank you for watching my video. Stay tuned for part B of this. Can I sing? That's what I'm going to name part B of it. So thank you again for watching. I can't thank y'all enough. Y'all views, y'all comments, y'all likes, shares, everything. That means so much to me. And it's going to mean so much to somebody else, because you liking it, you sharing it, is going to help somebody else break free. So thank you very much. So that concludes part A of this video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share, do everything that I tell you to do. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for part B. Okay, bye. That's the end of the show. Thank you for watching. It really means a lot to me. I really hate to go, but I have to do things. So I'll just see you later. Bye. Goodbye, goodbye. Okay, bye.